Welcome and good afternoon. This is Commish Orr. Welcome to Game 4 of the 1990s, Best of the 1990s World Series using season ticket baseball. This one between the 1990 Oakland Athletics and the 1998 Atlanta Braves. And I encourage you to check out games 1, 2, and 3, which you can find on previous videos of this channel. If you have not already done so, pause the video or stop this video here and go check those out. Spoilers ahead. Now that you've done that, what happened in games 1, 2, and 3? Well, it has been all Atlanta in games 1, 2, and 3. The Oakland Athletics offense has not shown up. They got shut out in game 1 by Greg Maddux. They nearly got shut out in game 2 by Tom Glavine. They had a 2-run homer in the ninth inning to break the shutout in that game, but still lost 8-2. And then in game 3, they got shut out by not only John Smoltz, who got injured and exited the game, but there was a combined shutout with him and 4 other Atlanta relievers. Oakland could not solve any of them. Meanwhile, the big news for Atlanta, on top of all of those shutouts, has been Andres Galarraga, who has put on a hitting performance these last 2 games that has just been insane. In game 2, he had 2 homers and 5 RBI, was 3 for 4, I believe. And not to be outdone in game 3, he was 4 for 5 with 2 homers and 8 RBI. He has been an absolute menace to the Oakland Athletics in this series. So we're back for game 4. Game 4. And Oakland has their work cut out for them. We are playing, Oakland is home, of course, in game 4. And it's a do or die. They're down 3-0. They'd have to win the next 4, which they did against the Yankees. Now, they were only down 2-0 in that series, but they did win the next 4. So they can win 4 in a row. But they'll have to start here today facing a pitcher who's been so dominant in this tournament. So let's get to the story here, shall we? We had a couple injuries yesterday. John Smoltz, expected to miss the entire rest of the series, was injured pitching in the 3rd inning yesterday, I believe. Also, Ryan Klesko, he'll miss a couple of games. He'll be back if the series goes back to Atlanta. He will return for those last 2 games, but he's injured today. And finally, we have Willie Randolph, who dislocated a collarbone on a hard slide in yesterday's game, and he will also miss the remainder of this series. Let's take a look at Atlanta's starting lineup. Leading off at shortstop is Walt Weiss. Batting second, playing second base, Keith Lockhart. Batting third at third base, Chipper Jones. And Big Cat himself, Andres Galarraga, will be batting in the cleanup spot and playing first base. With Klesko out, Javi Lopez has moved up to batting 5th and catching. Gerald Williams batting 6th at DH. Andrew Jones batting 7th in center field. Michael Tucker in right field batting 8th. And finally, in left for the injured Ryan Klesko is Danny Bautista, batting 9th. And on the mound, let's get to him here, is none other than Greg Maddux. How good has Greg Maddux been in the tournament? Well, he's 4-1 with an 0.89 ERA. He has 3 shutouts and 5 starts. Opponents are only hitting 112 against him. So Oakland's going to have their work cut out for him here. Their lineup will be leading off, came into this series hitting over 400, and he has been, 1 for like 13 or something crazy. Finally had a hit in the last game. Ricky Henderson in left field. Batting second in center field, Willie McGee. Batting third in right field, Jose Canseco. Mark McGuire in the cleanup spot in first base. Dave Henderson batting fifth at DH. Walt Weiss batting sixth at shortstop. Carney Lansford batting seventh at third base. Terry Steinbach catching and batting eighth. And finally, in place of Willie Randolph, Mike Gallego. And he is playing second base, batting ninth. And on the mound for Oakland is their number 4 starter, actually, Mike Moore. Mike Moore is 1-1 in this tournament with a 3.12 ERA, and opponents are hitting 298 against him. So Oakland has their work cut out for them as they put up their number 4 starter to face off against Maddux, but they're going to have to hit this road at some point anyway, because Stewart just pitched, and that's their ace. He just pitched yesterday. And so if they hope to win, they're going to have to get a win from the likes of Mike Moore. So we are set and ready to go. As always, I've already rolled for the starting weather, and you can see it here. 17 was this roll, or 16 was this roll. And so game time temperature is 65 degrees. It's October 19th, Saturday evening, I believe. And then the roll on the rain was 11 minus this 2, so it's a 9, so it's clear skies. And a 7 here means there's no significant wind. So a clear, calm, 65-degree night here at Oakland Coliseum. And we are ready to begin. Do or die here, as I said, for Oakland. Can they force Game 5? They sure hope so. Standing in, leading things off, Walt Weiss facing Mike Moore. And right away, 699, I believe. 699 is going to be a leadoff walk for Weiss. So leadoff walk here for Walt Weiss. Mike Moore does have a decent hold. And so Weiss is not going to go anywhere. So this lead, 10 plus steal. His steal is a 0, so that's a 10. The hold more than exceeds that. So nothing going on the lead attempt. So Keith Lockhart, 184, and this is not a good start as Lockhart bloops a single into right field. Weiss holds up at second. We now have runners on first and second, nobody out. And Chipper Jones steps in. 369. And Mike Moore is going to get some luck here as that one's hit to Weiss, who's right near second base. He steps on second, throws over to first for the double play. 6-6-3 double play here, which is as good as they could hope for at this point. So Walt Weiss is still on third. We have 2 down. And the dangerous Andres Galarraga. Let's see what kind of game he's going to have today. 446. 446. Oh my gosh, folks. 446. He barely gets a hold of this one. Lifts it out to left field, left center actually, and it is gone. That is his 5th home run in the last 3 games. Once again, a 2-run homer here in the first inning for Galarraga. What a crazy crazy series he has had here. Oakland fans are hushed as Atlanta takes an early 2-0 lead. Too familiar of a story here in the first inning. Javi Lopez. Let's see how he follows that one up. It's a grounder to McGuire. McGuire has to range to his right a little bit, but is able to scoop it and beats Lopez to the bag for out number 3, but not before a huge home run. Once again, it's deja vu all over again with a 2-run homer from Andres Galarraga here in the first inning. So, Oakland steps in. Ricky Henderson steps in to start things off against Greg Maddux, hoping to get those runs back. 426. And he draws a leadoff walk. That's only the third time Henderson has been on base even. Maddux says it's normally known for his control. He has walked a few batters here in the last few games. Henderson's going to definitely... Maddux does not hold runners very well. He only has a hold of 1. So 14 plus the steal is going to be an 18. More than enough to get to go for a lead here. There's no pickoff, no fielding to speak of. So he is going to attempt to steal. And the challenge is 16 plus his speed. More than enough to beat Galarraga's arm. And so Ricky steals second base. So Oakland getting something going here. Trying to score, and Maddux will face off against McGee. 279 and 279. McGee is a switch hitter, so he'll be batting left. And that's a grounder to first. Galarraga up with it. Has to flip to Maddux for out number 1, but Ricky will advance to third base on the play. And that brings up Jose Canseco. Atlanta confidently playing back. Ricky has enough speed. They must not think they can get him at the plate if there's a play, so they're playing straight up. 5-17, and this is another comebacker to the mound. Ricky was actually off with the pitch, so he was going for it, and 1-3. I believe what they're going to do is they're just going to take the easy out here. 1-3. Goes on contact. Results marked with a question mark. Defense may get the out at home by challenging the speed, but they are not confident on that, so they're just going to let him go. So, Maddux takes the sure out at first in exchange for a run here, and Oakland actually scores a run. They will not be shut out today, which is exciting, and they've cut the lead. Is now 2-1. Yeah, take what you can get here. So Oakland may be turning things around here. Yet to be seen. Up steps Mark McGuire. 270, and that's another grounder. This time to short. Oh, and actually, that last one was to short also, wasn't it? Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah. I think the last one was to short, too. Let me back that up a second. I think I just mislooked at everything and confused myself. Either way, Henderson scored on the play. And this one's also short. Weiss will throw over to Galarraga. And that will be out number 3, but not before Oakland scores their first run of the game. So we head to the top of the second. Mike Moore will face off against Williams, Andrew Jones, and Michael Tucker here. 120, and that's going to be a fly out. Williams lifts this one to left. Henderson under it for out number 1. Andrew Jones. Actually had a pretty good game yesterday. 295. That is a deep drive to left. Oh boy. Deep drive to left, and that's a 14 plus his 8 here is a 22. Deep left, 22. That's dangerous, folks. That is way back. Way back. Henderson at the wall and out of here. Andrew Jones with a solo shot here in the second inning. And the Braves get the run right back. They're up 3-1. Jones had a home run in the last game as well. Just his first 2 homers of the entire tournament, and they happen here in back-to-back games. That brings up Michael Tucker. Moore trying to shake off these early inning jitters. 456. And Tucker lists this one to deep center field. McGee near the track. But he's able to haul it in for out number 2. Danny Bautista. Bautista's hitting 357 in limited work here in the tournament. 121, and that's another fly out. Easy fly ball to Henderson, who hauls it in for out number 3, but not before the Braves get the run back and reclaim their 2-run lead. It's 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Dave Henderson steps in. He's hitting over 300 in the tournament. This time it's a little ground ball to Galarraga, who will take it to first himself. He beats Henderson to the bag easily. And we have 1 down for Walt Weiss. 351. Weiss pops this one up on the infield. Chipper Jones in foul territory. And he's under it for out number 2. Carney Lansford steps in. And he strikes him out. Maddux with the strikeout here to end the second inning. 1-2-3 inning for Maddux. And just like that, we're to the top of the third here. Atlanta still with a 3-1 lead. Top of the order here for Atlanta. Walt Weiss. 668 becomes a 678. And wild pitch, so nothing going with nobody on. 121. Henderson getting a lot of activity out there in left field. This one's hit right at him. And he snags it for out number 1. Keith Lockhart steps in. 214 becomes a 414. Lockhart, sharp liner. Gallego nabs it. And that'll be 2 down. Chipper Jones, he's only hitting 238 in the tournament. 338. There's a dribbler on the infield, and throw not in time as Chipper beats it out for a 2-out single here in the third. He will take a look at getting a lead, but 10 plus 1, 11, that's not going to do it. So up steps Galarraga. Oakland still trying to solve him. And that's a deep fly ball to center. Way back at the wall. But not quite deep enough as McGee right at the wall makes that catch to end the inning. It looked like he might have another 2-home run game here, but falls just a little short. So we head to the bottom of the third. Atlanta up still up 3-1. Maddux facing off against Steinbach. 496. And he strikes him out. 2 strikeouts in a row for Maddux here. 1 to end the second, 1 to begin the third. And that brings up Gallego. He's hitting 058, folks. 431. And that's a ground ball right to Lockhart. Easy play to first. 2 quick outs here in the 3rd inning. And that brings us back to Ricky Henderson, who walked and stole second to set up the Oakland run in the 1st inning. Henderson lifts this one to his counterpart, Bautista in left. Bautista barely had to move on this one, and that'll be out number 3. We head to the top of the 4th. Braves still up 3-1. Javi Lopez steps in. And that's going to be a deep drive. Oh, boy. Deep left field. It's a 13 plus 9. That's a 22. That's going to be the home run again, isn't it? Yes. It is deep. It's way back, and it is gone. Javi Lopez with a solo shot to lead off the 4th. That's the 3rd home run allowed here by Mike Moore. And Braves are now up 4-1 here. Moore hasn't pitched too bad other than allowing a couple of big home runs here. That'll bring up Gerald Williams. 6:08. And he strikes him out. First strikeout for Moore here in this game. Trying to collect himself. Andrew Jones, who hit a solo homer his first at bat. 695. I believe that's going to be a walk. 695. It is not. That one is in the gap. And I believe Clay just made a comment that the straight up doubles are usually ground rule doubles. So that's what I'm gonna say from now on. So that one bounces over the wall for a ground rule double here for Andrew Jones. So Jones on second, 1 down for Michael Tucker. And he strikes him out. Second strikeout of the inning here for Moore. Came at a great time. They're now 2 down for Bautista. 275. Bautista's a righty. And that's going to be, oh boy, it's going to be a deep to center field. 14 plus 4 is 18. Deep center field 18. Oh, man. That is deep. That is at the wall. McGee makes a leap, but not able to catch it. And this is a 2-run homer for Danny Bautista. It's a 6th run for Moore. Braves now with a 6-1 lead. Oakland taking a look at the bullpen. Moore just doesn't seem to have it. They will allow one more batter here. Keep in mind, he is now subject to fatigue, but he doesn't have any yet. Walt Weiss just trying to get out of this inning, and he will. That's a grounder to second. Gallego over to first for out number 3, but not before a couple more runs. 2 more homers here in the 4th by Atlanta. They have Oakland has activity in the bullpen. It looks like Moore's day is probably over, but could be too late if the damage is already done. Maddux has not allowed more than a run or 2 in any of his starts. As I mentioned, 3 shutouts in the tournament out of 5 starts. So he'll deal against McGee here to lead off the 4th. 467. That one's down into the corner. Tucker's going to have trouble tracking it down, and McGee's rounding second. The throw's in, but not in time, as there's a leadoff triple for Willie McGee. McGee using his speed to get to third. Once again, Atlanta playing straight up. They have a 5-run lead. And the Bash brothers are next, who have been fairly quiet. Canseco's had some good games, but not the power. He'll step in now against Maddux. And that's a walk. Canseco draws a walk here. Still no outs. Runners on the corners now. Atlanta playing straight up here against Mark McGwire. 494. That's one that's going to be deep to center field. Andrew Jones near the track. That will be out number 1, and McGee will score easily on that one. Sac fly here for McGuire. Not quite enough juice to cut this lead. More than the 1 run, but they'll take whatever they can get at this point. So 1 out. Canseco on first. Henderson will step in. 110 becomes a 310, and he catches him looking on the corner here for strike 3. It's 3 strikeouts now for Greg Maddux. And that's 2 outs. Walt Weiss. 678 becomes a 688. This could be something. 688. That is going to be a single into the gap. Canseco around second. And he'll coast into third. 2 out single here for Weiss to extend the inning here. First and third now, 2 down for Lansford. 181. Oops. 181. Ooh. Lansford bloops this one over second base. Canseco will score. Weiss to third. And now Oakland has scored 2 runs here in the 4th. The lead is now just 6-3. Lansford not trying to steal here. Terry Steinbach trying to keep things going. Runner still on the corners. 286. That is going to end the threat here. That's a grounder to short. Weiss makes the stop and over to first for out number 3, but not before Oakland gets a couple of runs back. So we head to the 5th, and we have a game again, folks. Moore went 4 innings. I think he's coming out. So Moore goes 4 innings. So look at this. Other than the 8 innings Bob Welsh went in game 1, the next 3 starts have been pretty short for Oakland's starting pitchers. Reggie Harris went 2/3 of an inning yesterday. And has the biggest range of relief stamina. But actually, Gene Nelson will come in. Gene Nelson will come in to pitch. Trying to get a couple innings out of him. Oakland does have pretty good relievers. And he'll start against Keith Lockhart here in the 5th. 682. 682. And Lockhart bloops one over second base. And that'll be a base hit. A leadoff single here for Lockhart. Brings up Chipper Jones. 263 will become a 533. That's to McGuire. McGuire makes the stop. His only play will be to beat out Chipper to first. So Lockhart moves to second. Now we have 1 down. And up steps the dangerous Andres Galarraga. 600. That won't be anything dangerous. That'll be something good. And it is, as he grounds this one right to Weiss. Weiss flips to Gallego and over to first. Oh, no. No. I'm sorry. Lockhart's on second. So that's right at Weiss, who does make the play at first, and Gallego stays on second. So that's 2 down. And Lockhart stays on second. So 2 down. They've retired Galarraga twice this game, which is already more than they had the last couple games. And now up steps Javi Lopez. 369. And that's a pop-up on the infield. Or no, it's a line out, actually. A line. McGuire grabs it for out number 3. So, one leadoff single, but that's all they can do. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Atlanta still up 6-3. Maddux facing the bottom of the order with Gallego. And this one's a grounder back to the mound. Maddux over to Galarraga for out number 1. Ricky Henderson 0 for 1 today. 347. And this one's a dribbler. He will beat it out for just his second hit of the tournament. And once again, he is definitely going to try to steal. 11 plus steal is a 15. Pickoff and fielding won't matter. 12 plus speed is a 20. So he'll be into second with a stolen base here, his second steal of the game. Oakland trying to manufacture runs where they can get them. So Henderson on second, 1 down for McGee. 687, that's going to be something. 687, that's a base hit for McGee. And Henderson with his speed is going to score on the single. And just like that, it's a 6-4 game. Oakland not out of it yet. This is the most runs they've scored. They've doubled their total runs from prior to this game. McGee does also have some speed. 15 plus steal is 15. That's going to be more than the hold. So he's going to try to steal it here. 14 plus speed, 21. Oh yeah. McGee steals second. That's the third stolen base of the game. Once again, putting a runner in scoring position here for Canseco. 290. That's a grounder to short. Weiss's only play is the first. Galarraga will grab it for the first catches. Weiss will throw over to Galarraga for out number 2, but I believe a 6-3. Yep. 6-3 means McGee will advance to third on the throw. So McGee on third now with 2 down. McGuire at the plate. Had the sac fly in the last inning. But this one's right at Lockhart. Lockhart with the easy play to first to end the inning. But Oakland does get another run. The lead now cut to 6-4 here as we head to the top of the 6th. Nelson will face Gerald Williams, Andrew Jones, and Michael Tucker here in the 6th. And he is subject to fatigue now. And Williams beats out an infield single here to lead things off. He won't try to go anywhere. Nelson is pretty good at holding runners on. All right, Andrew Jones. Jones is 2 for 2 with a homer and a double. 365. And that one's also a dribbler on the infield. And Jones will beat this one out. So the Braves getting something going here in the 6th. Runners on first and second. Nelson has 2 levels of fatigue now, but he will deal to Tucker. 229. And Tucker's a lefty, so that's a pop-up, or excuse me, it's a line out. Line out to third. Lansford grabs it. 1 down. Danny Bautista. Bautista with a 2-run homer in the 4th. 499. Nelson's a righty, and he struck him out. So after 2 base hits to lead off this inning, dribblers, Nelson retires the next 2 batters, and we're back to the top of the lineup with Walt Weiss. 2 on, 2 out. Nelson deals. And Weiss draws a 2-out walk here to load the bases. Lockhart steps in. Bases loaded, 2 out. Nelson with 3 levels of fatigue. He's just trying to get through this inning. 220, and he will. Lockhart's a lefty, so that's another, this time a pop-up. Lansford under it for out number 3. So Nelson gives them 2 scoreless innings here. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Atlanta's still up 6-4. Maddux will face Henderson, Weiss, and Lansford here. 627. That's not going to be anything. 637 here for the home team, and that's a fly ball to center. Andrew Jones, plenty of room. 1 down. Walt Weiss. Weiss grounds this one to second. Lockhart over to Galarraga for out number 2. 2 quick outs here to lead the 6th. Lansford. Lansford bloops this one. And that'll be a 2-out single here for Lansford. Oakland, after the first 3 innings, which they were pretty quiet, they've actually been able to do stuff here against Maddux, who is pitching on 3 days rest. Steinbach, trying to keep things going. And Steinbach grounds this one back to Maddux, who throws over to first for out number 3. So a scoreless inning for Oakland. And Oakland will have a reliever come in, another reliever come in, as Nelson lasts 2 innings. Chipper Jones is a switch hitter, and then they have a couple of righties after that. A long list of righties after that. Let's see here. Mike Norris. All right, they're going to turn things over to Mike Norris here. Hoping to get at least maybe another inning or 2 of shutout baseball here for Oakland. Keep them in this one. He'll have to face the middle of the order here with Chipper, starting with Chipper Jones. 291. Ooh, boy. Dangerous territory. Chipper Jones, the left-handed hitter here. And this one's a fly ball to right. Canseco with room. And 1 down. Galarraga, after the first inning home run, Galarraga has been quiet. 691, that will not be quiet. That's going to be something. 691 is a base hit. Easy single here for Galarraga. And that brings up Javi Lopez. 1 for 3 with a solo homer. 533. This is a grounder to McGuire, who makes the grab. His only play is to first. He beats Lopez to the bag. So Galarraga advances to second on the play. Gerald Williams, 2 down. 350. And that's another base hit on the infield here. Williams beats it out. So that's the second one for him. We have runners on the corners now with 2 out. And Andrew Jones, who's 3 for 3 with a homer, a double, and a single here today. But this one's right back to Norris, who throws over to first for out number 3. So Norris gets through the inning, despite some base runners. Maddux has 6 inning stamina, so he will be subject to fatigue here in the 7th. He starts off against Gallego. And Gallego gets a leadoff single here to center. 1 for 3 today. And he's going to try to, he's going to see about stealing here. 16 is steal is it's because it's roll of a 2 here. Normally he wouldn't try, but the 2 is less than 5 here. So 16 plus steal is a 21. 8 matches the fielding, so it's not an overthrow on the pitcher. So 15 plus speed, that's high enough. So another stolen base here. That's the 4th steal. So Oakland stealing some bases to manufacture some runs here. Ricky Henderson steps in with no outs. Gallego on second. 393. Oh boy, folks. Henderson lifts this one deep. It's back. It's at the wall. It is gone. Ricky Henderson had 7 homers in this tournament before the World Series. He just adds number 8, and this one ties the game. We have a game again, folks, as Oakland refuses to die. Down 6-1 at one point. They've come back to tie this one up against Greg Maddux. One has to wonder if 3 days rest is getting to him. He does have 2 levels of fatigue now. Willie McGee. McGee grounds this one right back to Maddux. Maddux throws to first. A little harder than normal. Seems some frustration setting in there. Now 1 down for Jose Canseco. And this one's hit down the line sharply. Jones makes a stab at it, but not able to get it, as it is into left field for a base hit. Go-ahead run now on first base. And Mark McGwire steps in. That's the 3rd level of fatigue for Maddux. 625. So 625, 3 levels of fatigue plus home team becomes a 665. But as I said, here in Oakland, you need some pretty high numbers for it to be anything. So 6-4. So this one's a grounder to short. Weiss flips to Lockhart, but they can't get 2. So McGwire now on first. 2 outs now. Dave Henderson. 690. Oh boy. 690 with all of the additions is going to be a deep fly to center. 11 plus this 8 is a 19. Deep center field 19. And this one is deep. It is back. It is gone. Dave Henderson. A 2-run homer to put Oakland up 8-6. And that will be it for Greg Maddux. Maddux, untouchable until the 4th inning of this game. He's got to be disappointed in this performance. Absolutely. As he allows 8 runs, 2 homers here in the 7th. So Maddux gets 6 2/3 innings. and they will turn things over to, let's see, left, right, right. Braves have not really had to use. They did have to use relievers yesterday because Smoltz didn't last, was injured in the third inning. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, they'll bring in John Rocker to face Weiss here. I guess Weiss is a switch, so it wouldn't matter too much, but they'll still bring in John Rocker. All right, 2 down, nobody on. Big home run from Dave Henderson, who, by the way, had the 2-run homer to give them their only runs in the first 3 games. John Rocker now in to deal to Weiss. And he strikes him out. So Rocker gets through the inning here, gets them through the inning, I should say. But not before 4 big runs. And Oakland takes an 8-6 lead into the 8th inning here. Norris had 1 of stamina, so he would be subject to fatigue in this inning. He is going to stay in to at least start things off against Michael Tucker. And he strikes him out. Tucker strikes off to lead off the 8th here. Atlanta bats have gone silent here the last few innings. They've threatened a couple of times, but haven't been able to push any runs over. Danny Bautista. And Bautista draws a walk here in the 8th. All right, so that's 1 level of fatigue now for Norris. Walt Weiss. 236. Weiss is a switch. This one's going to be a pop-up on the infield. And Lansford will be under it for out number 2. Keith Lockhart, 2 down, runner on. And this is another pop-up. 3 outs here, quick outs for the Braves. 1 runner on from a walk. We head to the 8th, the bottom of the 8th. Rocker will stay in to face the bottom of Oakland's order. 653 becomes a 663. And that is a grounder to short. Weiss over to first for out number 1. Terry Steinbach. 622 becomes a 632. And this one's a pop-up on the infield. Weiss calls everybody off. 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning. Gallego got things started in the last inning with a base hit. 588. And he'll have another one. That's a 2-out single here. Gallego in place of Willie Randolph, 2 for 4 today with a couple key base hits here at to end the game. And that gets things back to Ricky. Ricky seems to have come out of his slump. He's 2 for 3. He was walked, stolen a couple of bases, hit a big 2-run homer that tied the game in the last inning. 671 becomes a 691. 1 level of fatigue now. That's probably going to be another walk. No, 691 is not. That's a base hit. So Ricky with another base hit. That'll put runners on the corners. And of course, he's going to try to see about getting a lead, but he doesn't. 10 plus his steal's only a 14, so he's held on. Rocker facing probably his last batter either way in Willie McGee. 164. And that one gets past Lopez. Wild pitch. Gallego scores on the play. Oakland extends their lead to 9-6. But McGee strikes out to end the inning. So Rocker gets through 2 innings. But Oakland adds to their lead. We go to the 9th. Heart of the Atlanta order, but let's see, Norris comes out for Oakland after 2 innings. And in comes Dennis Eckersley. Eckersley has not pitched at all in the series because it hasn't been close enough for him to even be needed. But here in the 9th, Oakland wants to make sure that they win this one. So in comes Eckersley. Chipper Jones leading things off. Atlanta down to their last 3 outs. 687. That's going to be something. That's a leadoff single here for Chipper. So Atlanta gets a runner on here to lead things off. And up steps Galarraga. He did have a single in his last at bat, so he's 2 for 4. Eckersley deals. Stamina of 0, so that'll be 1 level of fatigue, so 651. That's not going to be high enough to be anything. 651. 651 is a grounder to second. Gallego flips to Weiss. They can't turn 2 on the play, though. So 1 down. And Javi Lopez, who's 1 for 4 with a solo shot. 102 becomes a 302, and he strikes him out. Lopez fooled. That one just caught the corner. Oakland 1 out away from pushing this series to Game 5. Gerald Williams. And we have a rare play. 506. Runner on first. 506. So let's see what this is going to be. 506. Okay, so rare play 30-33. And this may not matter because there's 2 outs. The roll was a 109. Hard ball deflects off the pitcher's leg, fielded by the shortstop. Batter must successfully challenge the shortstop's arm rating. Okay, so the batter is Gerald Williams. His speed is a 4. The challenge is 10 plus his speed, which is 14. Weiss does not have a good arm. So the ball deflects off of Eckersley. Weiss grabs it, but he will not have a play at first as Williams beats out the throw. Yes, folks, that's another infield single for Williams. So now we have runners on first and second. 2 outs. That's his second level of fatigue. Andrew Jones steps in. Jones with a homer, a double, and a single. Trying to keep this going. 290. Oh, boy. I don't think it's going to be high enough, though. This is going to be a deep drive to left. Deep to left. That's an 8 plus an 8. That's a 16. Deep left field 16. Ooh, that is at the wall. Henderson makes a leap, and he grabs it. Wow, that was nearly a game-tying home run. The fans are going crazy here as that ends the game. A little bit of fear there at the end. as that was just inches away from tying this game. Instead, Oakland wins this one 9-6 in a crazy comeback. Atlanta, 6 runs on 14 hits and no errors. Did not score after the 4th inning. Oakland, 9 runs on 12 hits and no errors. Thanks to Dave Henderson's 2-run homer that gave them the lead, Ricky's 2-run homer that tied things. Henderson 3 for 4. Tied the game here in the 7th against Greg Maddux. Maddux uncharacteristically allows a couple of home runs there in the 7th inning. And he will get the loss in this game. It's only his 2nd loss of the tournament. And Oakland will live to fight another day. As Eckersley gets his 1 inning here. So tomorrow will be the final game in Oakland. Game 5. Oops. Oakland does not get swept. And the starter will be Bob Welch, who had an amazing game 1. 8 innings. Just lost because Maddux did better. And he will likely face Denny Nagel. Let's roll to see if Glavine can come back. He'd have to roll a 1 or a 0. We're going to look at this middle white die here. 0. So, in fact, it will be Tom Glavine tomorrow. So, Glavine will also start on 3 days rest. Glavine took a shutout into the 9th and allowed a 2-run homer in Game 2. So Atlanta will go back to him in hopes of something. Now keep in mind, Smoltz is injured for the rest of the tournament, so Smoltz is not going to pitch again in the World Series. So Millwood would be next in line to pitch if they need him. So it'll be Glavine tomorrow. They'll get a day off. They'll go back to Atlanta. And most likely Nagel will pitch at that point if they need him. So, folks, exciting game 4 here. Oakland shows that they have some life left. So worrying in those first 3 innings when they had no hits. But that's why we play the games. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for Game 5. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great evening.